Hi, it's Paddy Hirsch at Marketplace. Today, why you should care about currency wars. A currency war sounds weirdly abstract, like a game played by rival politicians, but it can have devastating effects in the real world, and it's not all that different from a rivalry of a different kind, a hypothetical sibling rivalry. Imagine a pair of brothers. They together own a honey-making business in Minnesota, just a few miles from the Canadian border. One day, the brothers have a fight and decide they can't work together anymore, so they divide the company in two. The younger brother decides to take his half of the bees and move across the river to Canada. Now, both businesses make the same honey, sold in an 8-ounce jar, priced the same, $1 per jar. When the fight happened and the brothers moved apart, the Canadian and US dollars were at parity, so a jar of honey, regardless of where it was made, was worth both $1 and $1 Canadian. The younger brother sold his honey to his fellow Canadians. The older brother had the American market. Now, all goes well until currency war. The brothers wake up and find that $1 Canadian is now worth just 50 US cents. Or, to put it another way, $1 is worth $2 Canadian. Now, Joe is an American who loves honey. He has $1. Usually, he'd just buy a jar of honey from the American Honey Company. It's closer, the honey tastes the same. Why not buy American? But his single US dollar will now buy him $2 Canadian, with which he can travel across the border and buy 2 jars of Canadian honey. In other words, the currency wars allow him to get 2 jars of honey for the price of 1. This is great news for Joe and all those Americans like him. They all start buying up Canadian honey. It's great news for foreigners who also like a good deal. And it's great news for the Canadian Honey Company, of course. The cheap Canadian currency has allowed it to boost its share of the market. So now it's making pots of money as well as honey. But this is really bad news for the elder brother and his American honey company. He can't afford to compete, not without watering his honey down or outsourcing his bees or something else. Unless the government does something to weaken the US dollar, he's going to go out of business, which means he'll have to lay off honey workers and sell off all of those hives. And all this will be happening all over the country, eroding America's manufacturing base, accelerating unemployment, and leaving all of us very badly needing a drink.